am back. I'm ready to go. I'm sorry for the time that I've been away. The reason I was away is I had a fairly serious sporting incident. I'm an amateur boxer and I'm getting too old, and I got knocked out and I had a very serious concussion, and it went on for months and it wasn't very pleasant. But now we are in the clear and we were back, and I'm ready to talk to you guys weekly again and start covering up these charts. Alright, so in saying that, let's get on with it. So I've been back on the terminal for about a month now, and it's all going quite well, and I want to show you guys a couple of things that I'm looking at. Alright, so we've got pound JPY here at the minute. Just have a look at a bit of a chart. So I think at the moment pound overall is on the up. I think the Brexit has been priced in, and come next year things are going to be fairly bullish. In saying that, right at the minute we are inside a nice heads and shoulders pattern. So I'm just going to skip back down to the daily for a second. Just zoom out. So we've got big double left shoulder here, the head. We're coming up. We're right at the neckline. I'm expecting price to push back down to the same level as the left shoulder, so down to these areas. You can see that I've got a trade open here. Got into this trade the other week, so I'm expecting a double right shoulder. So I'm going to see a come down here, then long, back up to inside this trend line, which will correlate with about this height. Come down, make a second right shoulder, and then it'll break this short-term downtrend, retest the outside, and then off and long. So that's going to be a nice trade when that happens. So that is in the realm of about 830 pips. But I am going to trade this shoulder. Because this is a long time in here, so this is a daily chart. This consists of about 5 or 6 weeks each shoulder. So there's plenty of opportunities. It's about a 400 pip range. So I'll trade short, then long, then short, and then long. I won't trade the breakout, and then I will trade the neckline retest and long from here. So confirmation for the trade was 3 weeks ago. Price come up. I was watching this head and shoulders pattern for a few months now, and we got this nice pin bar. Price come right up. It was looking like it was going to break and hold, and then it rolled over, which was perfect. So then I just looked at a 61.8% Fibonacci retracement of this pin bar to get some price action on the lower time frames for short. So for the first 2 weeks, it wasn't great because it triggered, and then it just stayed in this area. And the last week, the week before, sorry, it closed quite bullish, which is one of those times when it's hard to be a trader because you're committed into a trade, and it was fairly heavy, and I was thinking because of the bullish close it was probably going to break my original analysis. But true to form, inside the heads and shoulders pattern, last week it rolled over and come right off. And now what we've got on open this week, which is perfect, is a huge gap down. So what do we got? We've got price has come in and closed and then opened again. So 90 pip gap down. So for anyone that's been trading for a reasonable time, a 90 pip gap on the pound crosses is significant. So something has happened. I haven't done the fundamental analysis yet. I'm more into the technicals. There's been enough stir on the pound because it's across the boards on pound US, pound Oz, pound CAD, pound New Zealand, pound SEC. All pairs have gapped down, so which is a good sign for short. So our weekly pin bar, our 61.8% retracement, our heads and shoulders pattern, and then rolling over at that level and then a gap down. We've got a lot of signs for a short market in the short term down to the inside of this heads and shoulders pattern. Okay guys, so I'm going to be trading short down to these levels, and again long, short, long on the break, and then we'll follow that heads and shoulders pattern out of that. So that's one chart that I'm very interested in at the minute. Another one that has my attention is the pound SEC. Now, I'm not going to take this trade this week, but I'm just going to bring it up for some of you guys. I don't actually trade the exotics, but I do keep a bit of an eye on them. But we've got, again, pound has come up, and then we've got it roll over here. So this is a weekly chart. Come up, and it's come down. It's closed a perfect pin bar. And we've got the other pin bar over here. This is maybe 3-4 months ago. So it's essentially a double top. The price is definitely reacting to this 50% retracement, this Fibonacci on the long trend down. It's coming up. I think it'll probably just go back down to this support, which was resistance through here. We've got support, resistance, 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 break, support, support. I'm expecting a third touch for the support, and then again pound SEC for long. But in the short term, guys, if you zoom in on here and you put a little Fibonacci on this lovely looking pin bar, I would like to see price come up to the 50% retracement or the 61.8% retracement, which is also the 50% retracement of the Fibonacci on the higher time frame, and then drop down to your dailies or your H4s, and you'll be looking to get short with some H4 or daily price action in these areas, and then follow it back down to here. So if you got a H4 trade on that, just remember the spread on this one's a bit tricky, so you want a decent sort of wide stop loss. If you got some decent price action here, you might put in say a 500 pip stop loss and then chase back to these levels inside that 38.2. You got 4,000, so that's an 8% trade with good strong double top weekly price action. And inside, remember this higher downtrend retracement and down. So again, another really good one to look at. So I'm going to bring these ones up weekly over the next few weeks just to show you guys where it's all at. The other one that I'm very keen on is USDCAD. Alright, so weekly chart. Now, what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to zoom out and show you an even bigger picture. So this is a monthly chart. See down here, guys? Feb 1997. There's a lot of data in here. Now, I've been watching this since I started trading, which is way back when. About here somewhere is when I got interested in trading. And one of the first patterns that I learnt, and one of my favourite patterns outside of heads and shoulders, is a cup and handle. So we've got this big cup pattern in here. Remember, this is a monthly chart. So this is, from there to there, we've got about 7 years of data, which is significant. So price came up and actually touched that cup and handle on the monthly, reacted and put in the handle, broke, come back, retest, and it's just stuffed around in this area for the last few years. Now, I've had many successes in this area because of the bigger cup and handle pattern. I was pretty confident that I knew where the overall direction of the market was going. And it's all coming to a head now because I believe this is one of the most critical points in the market. And I'll drop back to a weekly and I'll show you why. So remember, we're inside a huge cup and handle pattern. So we've got this on a weekly chart. We've got an uptrend coming through here, 1, 2, 3, and price along the top is consolidating lower and lower. So we see the market squeezing on a weekly chart. So it's a big squeeze because the start of the squeeze was back here in 2015, January. Okay, and we've finally, just recently, got a break of this triangle. And now it's coming along down the outside of this triangle, which always happens. You always get a break and a retest. 90% of the time there'll be a retest after a break of some sort of a pattern. Now, so to continue with this bottom uptrend, we've got this point here. And to continue with this downtrend, this squeeze at the top, we've got this point here, and this is where it crosses. And if we draw a horizontal support and resistance, so we've got resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, support, support, okay? Now I'm expecting to see support again here. So we've got the uptrend, the squeeze, the horizontal support. This is a weekly chart. When price comes down in here, I would like to see a weekly pin bar in here. And when that happens, guys, I will be taking a 50% retracement of that weekly pin bar, and I will be loading this one up. This is the trade that I've been watching for years. When this comes, I'm going to put a lot of money behind this, and I'm going to hold it, because I think the US fundamentally is quite strong at the moment. Oil has just rolled over a little, so US CAD fundamentally is probably a long trade also. So the depth of this cup, technically, 3,100 pips. So up here, 3,100 pips, guys. Guess what? Lines up with these levels. All-time highs. I think this is where it's going. So this is significant area of interest on a weekly chart. The right price action here, and you might get a 1 or 150 pip stop on that. If you hold on to this trade for the next 18 months, 2 years, something like that, you are going to make lots and lots of money because this is the trade that you can really load up. You can drop a lot of cash onto this trade. It's a fairly safe bet. And that's what I'll be doing. So I'll be keeping you guys updated weekly on this one. We'll just be looking at this even mid-weekly potentially if we see some good price action in there. All right, guys. Look, I just want to say it's good to be back. I missed doing this. I missed everything trading. Again, with that sporting injury, there wasn't a lot I could do because it was a concussion injury. I was actually... My thinking clearly ability was out of action for some time, but I've been working with the doctors and we're back on track. We're back to where we were. It's just taken a lot longer than what we all thought. But we're back. We're in the seat. We're red hot. Trading's been good for the last month on my own personal account, and I'm looking forward to bringing you guys along on the journey once more. All right, guys, I will talk to you maybe during the week. I had a few ideas that I wanted to work with, but probably next Sunday morning for another market wrap-up. All right, guys, have a good one. Cheers. Bye.